gave my heart in love and wrote my name above. And just a little talk with Jesus made me whole. This is where you sing. Now let us have a little talk with Jesus. Let him tell us all about our troubles. He'll hear our faintest cry, and he will answer by and by. When you feel your prayer will turn, and your little fire is burning, you'll find a little talk with Jesus makes me whole. Sometimes passing drear without rain or cheer, and in clouds I lay at the light of day. The mist of sin may rise and hide the starry skies, but just a little talk with Jesus clears the way. Now let us have a little talk with Jesus. Sing it, ain't it? Tell him all about our troubles. He'll hear our faintest cry, and he will answer by and by. When you feel your prayer will turn, and your little fire is burning, you'll find a little talk with Jesus makes you whole. I may have doubts and fears, my eyes may fill with tears, but Jesus is a friend who watches day and night. I go to him in prayer, and he knows my head's hair, and just a little talk with Jesus makes it right. Let us have a little talk with Jesus. Let us tell him all about our troubles. He will hear our faintest cry. Lord, he will answer by and by. When you feel a little prayer will turn, and your little fire is burning, you'll find a little talk with Jesus makes it right. Oh, you'll find a little talk with Jesus makes it right. Boy, my armpits are sweating. The last time I played in front of this many people, this is going to sound crazy and I probably shouldn't say it, I was dressed as a woman. I was dressed as a woman. It was 1999. I was in Zeta Tau Alpha's Womanless Beauty Pageant. I did win a DVD player. I played Stand By Your Man. And it's funny that Womanless Beauty Pageants used to be funny because it was so funny, because you're so obviously not a woman. That's what made the whole dang thing funny. Now I don't even think you could have one. People get confused. They're supposed to laugh or cry or look away. We don't know. Like a lot has changed in 20 years. So this is a song that was in Oh Brother Where Art Thou, I think. But I first played it. I've never done a play, but I did one called Smoke on the Mountain at a dinner theater. It's the only time the Chattanooga Times Free Press has ever wrote a positive review of anything I did. Because I'm in conservative media now. That's before I got into politics and they didn't know it. And it was neat. It was about a preacher. There was a lot of Appalachian music in it. I had to learn how to passively play an upright bass and an accordion, just like the chords. I've forgotten that since. But it's a neat song and it's stuck with me. It's an old one. It's called Angel Band. My latest son is sinking fast. A race is nearly run. My strongest trials now are past. My trials has begun. Oh, come, angel band, come and around me stand. Oh, bear me away on your snowy wings to my immortal home. Oh, bear me away on your snowy wings to my immortal home. Oh, bear my longing heart to him who bled and died Holy ones, they come. I hear the sound of wings. Oh, come, angel and come and around me stand. Oh, bear me away on your snowy wings to my immortal home. Oh, bear me away on your snowy wings to my immortal home. Okay, I must have looked there, here and there. It's mainly my hands sweating when they sweat. All right, this is the last one we're going to do, and then I'm going to talk to you. I'm sorry for doing this out of order and properly set up and all that stuff. Like I said, I never make it in Nashville. Most of y'all know this. How many of us float one all on? How many I'll fly away? No, everybody's got that. Sure. Okay, well, we'll close with something everybody knows then. All right, here we go. Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away when the shadows of this life have grown. I'll fly away in the sky of prison bars I've flown. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. Just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a land where joy will never end. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. It's finished. I'll fly away. All right, sorry to be so nervous, guys. I'm usually about 3 beers deep around a campfire, playing with buddies I played with for 20 years. We don't try to sing to each other, we just try to sing over each other. And so this is a little bit different. So, I'm just going to prop up and talk, try to do my best imitation of George Jones. So Steve asked me to come speak to the group. I publish the Tennessee Conservative News. I don't do that full time. It's not my vocation. It doesn't make any money. I do it as a volunteer. My main vocation is I coach painting contractors for a living. I've coached 807 in 7 different countries over the last 12 years with a variety of different programs. I have a big painting company. that I built up and sold, and so that has been a joy to watch my kids grow. I'll call them kids. They'll come to you in real rough shape, real rough situations, and then they leave. A man in particular, if his business is not going well, he does not feel well, because we're supposed to be providers. And so it's not just that you put more money in the pocket of his family. It's just like he walks around with a spring in his step. He figures out that there's more to him than what he thought. And so it's been fun. My background's kind of odd. Moved to Chad. I grew up in Ayer, Alabama, dirt poor. Lived with my mother the first 13 years when I moved in with my dad. He had clubfoot, facial deformities. He couldn't read or write. We lived in this old sawmill slat house that had halfway burned. We had one kitchen. It was in the sink. One sink in the kitchen. I had a bathroom, had a toilet, and a little stand-up shower, and half a door. And I remember a buddy of mine said, "You're in there taking a dump." And you could see the feet, you could almost see the head. He was a big old tall boy. So I just remember going there and used the bathroom. There was no privacy. And it was right by the living room, so you had to be real quiet. And I'd forgotten about that till Corey told me about it here recently. But we grew up real poor. All my friends were going to college. I thought, well, crap, what am I going to do now? And I took the ACT like 8 times and figured out how to take the test, and finally got a good enough score to get a scholarship. And the other thing about being a poor kid in one of the poorest areas of Alabama is that you get lots of pity. And I got pity scholarships, which I was very grateful for. I had good grades and I was involved, but I got a bunch of scholarships and I went to Jacksonville State. And I was always involved in student government, even when I went to school in politics. I found it interesting. I read a lot of history books growing up. I just thought it was neat. I thought the founding of our country was just phenomenally amazing. And it always bothered me that people would want to try to tear it down. And so I got involved in politics. And when I moved to Chattanooga, I was ended up working on, for better or worse, some of these guys ended up being conservative and some of them weren't. Senator Corker, Congressman Desjardins, I put his team together when he beat Lincoln Davis and then ran his re-election campaign. And all in all, 14 different political campaigns that have all been successful. I'm working on one right now as a volunteer, and that'll be 15 if it goes well, which I hope it will. And then I started, in the middle of it, I started a painting business, which is very odd. You know, politics and painting is the same because you're always trying to cover something up. And so, you know, just naturally was a good fit for me. And I built it up large and sold it. And somewhere I started the Academy for Professional Painting Contractors. And when I did my last couple campaigns, I just quit politics cold turkey. No Fox News, no nothing. If I can't do something about something and if I'm not involved, I don't want to know about it because I feel like it's pointless, personally. And so 2020 happened, and I talked to a group of men yesterday, and I'm going to kind of change up what I talk about because I'm going to talk about it more from a Christian perspective and specifically what I discovered at my church. So in 2020, they shut down the only things I really cared about, which is my gym that I've been at for 25 years now, I think 24, my church, and work. Other than hanging out with friends, that's about all I do. And I was so angry. And I was sitting at my office, illegally working in my office, with my legal employees, trying to illegally feed my family. And I get a phone call from 2 ladies, because I've been involved in politics forever, and even though I had not done anything, people approach me all the time to get back involved, and I'd always tell them no. And these 2 ladies were trying to run a COVID protest in April of 2020. That's early. And I asked about 13 questions, and they didn't know the answers to any of them. I was like, good grief. These ladies are going to go out here and do this protest. Nobody's going to show up, and the world's going to think nobody cares. And seized with some sort of spasm, I don't know. I got involved on a Thursday, and I worked on that thing all the way through Sunday and basically took it over. We had 300 and something people on the Market Street Bridge in Chattanooga protesting, and I had never been to a protest. I was so uncomfortable about like today. I didn't want to be there, and not only that, this is fun. You know, if I suck or do something, it's not that big a deal here. But to be out there in front of the world in April of 2020 and say, I don't think the masks work, I don't think the vaccines are going to work, I think this social distancing is a bunch of bullcrap, and I don't care if it is the Black Death. It is not worth my constitutional rights and the American way of life. It's not worth it. Because it'll be that today and it'll be something else tomorrow. And it amazed me how many of my friends, conservative, Christian, Bible-believing friends, for lack of a better word, just became stone cold cowards. And I worked on that for 2 years, almost to the exclusion of everything else. I mean, I kept the business going, and I didn't, have any dereliction of duty to my clients, but I didn't work on growing it. And I didn't know what to do, because there's nobody to elect. We couldn't get the truth out of the media. They lied about everything, about the protests. They, all complained that we weren't wearing masks and we were going to kill grandma, but the reporter didn't have one on, which he failed to mention. I find very interesting. And I wanted just to get things in my county back to normal, because we had this rhino Republican named Jim Coppinger. It was one of the few in the entire state that was basically contact tracing. I got called, masks everywhere, people losing their jobs over vaccine requirements. And I didn't know what to do, and I went to church. This is when I decided I was going to do it. Our church had quit meeting, and I had been a founding member of that church for 10 years. And I just got fed up with it, and a friend of mine said, you ought to go down to Calvary Chapel in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They had opened back up, the first church to my knowledge of any size that had opened up in Chattanooga. And he preached on Nehemiah. And he talked about how people had walked past the broken down walls of Jerusalem for 80 years, not done a damn thing about it. And it took one man who had no business doing it, who didn't live there, to come and build them back up. And it's hard. And I remember, he goes, maybe there's a Nehemiah in this room today. I left. It's kind of emotional. I left and I said to my wife, I said, we got to start this blankety blank, 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 blank newspaper. Honey, this is going to cost every name in the book. I'm going to go from being the golden boy to being hated. I know how this is going to go. I mean, you got the corporations, the government, our own Republican Party doing this stuff to us. This is going to be a nightmare. She goes, honey, you just do what you think's best. And so I was like, all right. And she stood by me every step of the way. She's fine. Fast forward, we're 6 years in here. And through our works, the Tennessee Conservative, and to a large degree, Gary Humble, to a large degree, Tennessee Stands, and a bunch of grassroots groups like Mom for Liberty, and just a whole bunch of, pissed off Tennesseans, we forced our Republicans to basically undo what they did to us in 2 extraordinary sessions of legislature. And I said, okay, it's over. We're done here. Let's fold this thing up. $150,000 of my money later, and let's just call it a day. There's so many other things. There's illegal immigration. There's situations in schools. We got kids trying to, government employees take our taxpayer dollars to try to convert our children to a sex they aren't. And everything else you can think of, corporate welfare, transparency in government, and Lord, the deeper we dug, the dirtier it got. And it was not the Democrats. Anything that's wrong in this state is all Republican. They got a supermajority. They can do business without a single, if another Democrat never showed up to the legislature, it wouldn't make a difference. They can run it. And so we have fought, we have pushed through a lot of good legislation, we have killed a lot of bad legislation, what I call in the crib in committee. We've elected some great folks, we've unelected some bad folks. There's not many people that keep up or get involved in conservative politics, not really. But there's just enough to put the brakes on some of the worst stuff and to actually push things in a positive direction. Because politicians live in an echo chamber, and when people like you call them to a meeting, sit down in their community, knocking on doors, calling on people, are in their ear constantly, they don't like it. And we have been the conduit, the only conduit for information on state government from a conservative perspective. We will report on things that every Republican would roll over and just die knowing, and there will not be another single solitary news outlet pick it up across the state. They never pick up. The only thing they ever cover is how bad the Republican legislation is when it's conservative. And if it's something liberal, it's great. And they never even report on Republicans basically betraying their constituents because they like it. They don't want them to know. And until we came along, nobody did. And it's amazing that just a little bit of leaven in the bread makes a big difference. And just a little bit of truth goes a long way in politics. And so I'll leave you with a couple of things. The first is, I don't know what happened to men in our country where they lost their balls. I don't know. My grandpa wasn't like this. My daddy sure as hell wasn't like this. These milquetoast, beta male conservatives out there make me want to throw up. I'm like,
tell us what you really think.
I'm like, you're raising little girls and little boys. What are they going to see? Daddy rolled over? That's great. What's going to happen when they have some kind of trial? Because they do what you do, they don't do what you tell them. They just copy you. All this is dust in the wind. And so I want to make sure that my girls know, if it's tough, I'm going to stand up. And you need to do the same. The second thing I'll share with you, I shared with the other group. Being conservative isn't something you believe. It is something you do. You could no more be a conservative and not ever donate any money or donate any time. You just identifying as a conservative. Conservative isn't something that you do. Like I can look at it. I can look at your checkbook, I can look at your time. And so while it is great to consume 15 hours of conservative podcasts every week, and to talk about the articles you read and have these high and lofty conversations, I'll tell you what's better. 10 minutes of knocking on a door and trying to get a vote.
Amen.
Giving a candidate, if you can afford it, $1,000, $500, that's running, that's conservative. Getting involved with conservative causes you believe in. Imagine somebody says, I'm trying to build something great. I really believe in this. And you ask them, well, how much money and time have you invested in building it? And they say nothing. I don't believe it. I'm not buying it. Maybe I have gotten, jaded by the truth. And so my big encouragement to this men's group is it's great to banter about ideas. If you don't have the ideas, you don't have enough motivation and understanding to actually take action. But once you understand something fairly well, there is an immediate diminishing point of returns of learning more about it, or consuming more content about it for your own entertainment because it just verifies your personal beliefs and it feels good. Get a little rush of serotonin. You can listen to 15 hours of Fox News and it won't put a pinhole in a piece of toilet paper. You wipe your ass with it would be better use. I'm just here to tell you. When you read the Bible, it is replete with the heroes of old speaking truth to culture, getting involved in their government. Nehemiah was in government.
Yep.
Paul was constantly fighting against the ruling class, not the Romans necessarily, but the people actually running it. You know, the Romans basically just hung around and collected taxes and made sure you didn't blow things up. But, you know, the Jewish ruling elite were the folks that Jesus always fought against. He always that kind and gentle Jesus, meek as a lamb. No, you don't call them sons of the devil. You don't turn over the tables. You don't rail against them. I mean, there is a time and a place for both. And I think we've got to the point where, as I mentioned last time I talked to the group, and I'll wrap up with this, we've got 4 boxes in order to maintain our republic. We got the free speech box. It's gone in Europe. It is so crazy. My wife's family came from England, Francis Fincher. We went and saw his grave up in Philadelphia. It was a Quaker. He was arrested in England. You know what he was arrested for?
Preaching?
Praying in the streets. You know what they're being arrested for now?
Praying in the streets.
Praying in the streets. What's old is new again, as it says in Ecclesiastes.
Yeah.
There's nothing new under the sun. People think human condition and history has changed. It's the same. Look at his grave. Man came over here for religious freedom. And now, they used to have old printing presses and ideas would circulate. And it didn't take a lot of capital to do it. It was a piece of paper and some old dude in a sweaty apron stamping it out and handing it out. And now it's all owned by the corporations. And the only reason we're able to tell the truth that the Tennessee Conservatives is because we're subscriber funded. The other box we have is the ballot box. And I have questions about 2020. I look at business data all the time. I don't believe that number. And I have questions about it even locally. We need to do a better job. We have the jury box. Justice is hard for people to get these days. I mean, it really is. It costs a lot of money. If you're not wealthy and if you're not elite, you go into our justice system now, even if you're just of moderate means, it can just about bankrupt you to seek justice. And then the final box is the ammunition box. And boy, if we don't support a conservative media so we have free speech and we can be informed, and if we don't make sure that we use that freedom of expression as Christians to get involved in the political and the cultural sphere, I don't think there's any box going to be left but the ammunition box. And you look at, as I mentioned, with the other group, like the American Revolution, that was really like the big thing. Like that was the only recourse. They tried reason, they tried everything else, they made their complaints, and eventually they had to pick up that final box. And I would rather us as men protect those other 3 boxes so that our kids don't have to pick up the 4th. It's unlikely we will have to. I don't want to leave that to my kids. You shouldn't either. So here's my challenge to you today, and I'll give you a couple of practical things to do. Number 1, on that song sheet, there's a QR code to subscribe to our publication. It's free. It's free. It doesn't cost you a dime. Just subscribe to it. We'll email you. I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand. If in your head right now you can't tell me one thing that happened in the Tennessee legislature last year, your own government, you know who you are. Scan that code, please. Keep up with your state government. Y'all fled here, many of you. It's kind of irresponsible not to keep up, because there ain't no place left to flee. You have fled as far as you can flee. It is time to stand. The last thing is, conservatives give conservatively. We are always playing catch up. The corporations dump millions and billions of dollars into Tennessee politics, and it's all we can do to scrape 2 nickels together for a conservative candidate or a cause. Oh, we talk a good game. We gather together in the holy huddle, which is great, but we don't usually give much. Not anything that hurts. I mean, we might do something now and again, but if there's somebody running in your area, if there's a cause or a group, I mean, I have seen small groups of well-organized men just make remarkable differences in their community. It does not take much at the state and local level to tip scales. It's maximum impact. So guys, get involved, get engaged. We need your help so this place doesn't turn into what you ran from. We need you. And I will finally say this as a word of encouragement instead of, what is the other one? Exhortation in the Bible. I have found that people that move from other states are the most engaged, up-to-date, concerned, and enthusiastic people on our subscriber list. And it's only because you've had your you-know-what handed to you somewhere else, and so you've lived through it. It's hard when you haven't lived through something to know how to fight it, but you do. But let's just not think we're safe here. This is a safe harbor to a degree, but if we don't watch the mouth of the harbor, we can find out that it may not always be smooth sailing. So guys, I appreciate your time. I especially appreciate you indulging me with this singing, which was, I missed a lot. Y'all would know it. But I thank you so much for everything. And if you have any questions, I'll hang around afterwards. I appreciate your attention.